Ladies and gentlemen, here we just wanted to play the breaking news clip. Why not? Why not? I'm fighting Jerry there, playing clips. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got the background blue. We are in the blue room talking about blue Twitter, talking about the biggest bombshell story of our time. Certainly and without question, you are now fully and opened eyes and open your ears and open your brain to the concept that the 2020 election was meddled with and was personally moved and distorted and broken by the Biden regime and the DNC. And it happened through Twitter.com. They personally went to Twitter, the Biden regime, and the Democrat Party, and they acted with reckless abandon to American principles and to the very principles that found this country in order to deliver an outcome for themselves in the 2020 election by censoring information without any reason, breaking every single rule because they hated Donald Trump. The Democrat Party has been exposed tonight as the rotted edifice of Marxism in America. They are un-American. They stand actually antithetical to everything that America is. They hate you. They hate your liberties. They hate your rights. And they are going to use all of their power in order to take your rights away from you, to distort and limit your rights from you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves the bombshell story of probably my lifetime. Probably my lifetime. We're going live here after reading the Twitter files. It just stopped. We wanted to go live as soon as the thread stopped. What happened was Matt Taibbi, who is not a right-winger, not a MAGA Republican, certainly not of the right. He was a left-wing journalist, actually, from Rolling Stone. Now, he's gone out on his own because he left Rolling Stone because of his own censorship issues. And he was leaked the internal documents that show that Twitter, in collusion with the DNC and the Joe Biden campaign, limited, deplatformed, and censored Americans for absolutely no reason and no violation of Twitter's rules, but simply because they didn't like what they had to say. It is the political, weaponized, bombshell, nuclear uranium of our time. There is no other way around it. This is damning for the Democrat Party. This proves without a shadow of a doubt that the Democrat Party stands against everything that this country was founded on, that they hate America, and we have the receipts for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening? Matt Taibbi, this is the tweet deck. This is the Twitter thread. We are going to go through this, and we are going to show you tweet by tweet what is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the receipts. We know the names. We are going to name and shame on this show, and we are going to show you right now what has been exposed. And let us begin by saying that Elon Musk is the bravest American currently, the bravest person currently living in America today. The bravest person currently living in America today. And I know this. I have a lot of people in my family that serve as cops, that are currently serving in the military. You know what they do? They fight for free speech. They fight for free speech too. Everyone puts it all on the line, risks it all for free speech. It is a prerequisite to our country. Free speech means you have freedom of thought, which means you have freedom of agency, which means that you yourself as a body are autonomous and you can think and believe whatever you want. Now, there will be perhaps consequences to you, depending on what you think, vis-a-vis, I don't know, Kanye West. But ladies and gentlemen, free speech is the cornerstone, the prerequisite to our nation. And what has been revealed tonight in this thread that we're about to go through is what Twitter did, the leftists at Twitter did in collusion with the Democrat Party colluding with Twitter to rig the 2020 election. That's what it is. That's what it is. We're at a struggle for words for it. Let's go. Thread, the Twitter files, Matt Taibbi. This guy is, you can see there, he is an author. He has a Substack. He's got 1 million followers on Twitter, and he's a reporter, great journalist. This thing is going nuts, by the way. 55,000 retweets, 151,000 likes. This is going to be one of the most important tweet threads in American history. Without question, the largest scandal in presidential history. You are looking at it right now. Let's begin. What you're about to read is the first installment in a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by the sources at Twitter. The Twitter file is an incredible story about the inside of one of the world's largest, most influential social media platforms. It's a Frankensteinian tale of human-built mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. Twitter, in its conception, was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making true real-time global conversations possible for the first time. In early conception, Twitter more than lived up to its mission in statement, giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly. As time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add barriers. Some of the first tools for controlling speech were designed to combat the likes of spam and financial fraudsters. Okay, that's fine. But just like any beast, it grows. Slowly over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more useful and uses of these tools, these censorship tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well. First a little, then more often, then constantly. Here come the receipts, baby. Are you watching? Can you see them? There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Look at this email. Look at this. Here we go. The first smoking gun. To review from the Biden team. Here are a bunch of tweets that were from, it looks like these are like Anons. I mean, you can see their handles there. Jared897 and 125641, Let345812, JXXXX2_2. These are like Anon handles. Anonymous handles. Guy Squigs. Thanks, I handled all these. Oh, what does that mean? I handled them. What does that mean? It means, according to Matt Taibbi, that the Biden team, you can see it right there, the Biden team, right there. There it is. Can you see it? The Biden team is asking connected actors to delete the tweets. Ladies and gentlemen, delete the tweets. Let's go increase the size of these tweets. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. First time doing it in this format. There you go. Okay. Biden team specifically asking to delete tweets from Americans. And then once they had been deleted, the Twitter team would say, oh, it's been handled. There it goes. See it right there? Handled these. We handled them. We limited these Americans' rights to free speech. We limited them. We censored them. We deleted their first constitutional right as Americans. Yay! Everyone claps. Celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed or reviewed at the behest of a political party. Check this out. Look at this. Are you guys seeing this? Open your eyes. Check it out. I first grabbed these under SI, defer to safety for high profile. Second one, who are they talking about? Real James Wood. See that? Real James Woods. So this Stephen Luluhan, I don't know. I don't know who that is. Not sure. But Real James Woods, this is them asking from the DNC. Do you see it? Open your eyes. Do you see it? The DNC The first one was the email from the Biden campaign, and this one is from the DNC. The DNC asking for real James Wood, one of the more famous actors in America, legendary actor, to be censored. Wonder what Hollywood has to think about this. Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, a request came from the Trump White House and the Biden campaign. However, the system wasn't balanced. It was based on contacts. Because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation, there were more channels, more ways to complain. Often the left, Democrats, than the right. Check it out. Here's your donations to Democrats, 99% contributions from Twitter to Democrats. 99% went to Democrats. So the same percentages essentially hold out algorithmically for 2018, 2020, and 2022. 96, 98, 99. Twitter is becoming more liberal. Elon Musk, please move Twitter to Texas immediately. The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also an assessment of the multiple current and former high-level executives. Okay, there was more throat clearing about the process. Screw it, let's jump forward. The Twitter Files Part 1, How and Why Twitter Blocked the Hunter Biden Laptop Story. Are you ready? No, you're not. Let me tell you what, you're not ready for this. You're not. Get ready. You're about to find out exactly who and why they blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. You're about to find out who and why was responsible for censoring Hunter Biden's laptop. Let's get into it. On October 14th, 2020, the New York Post published Biden's secret emails, an expose based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. This, of course, was true. This is the original article right here. This is the original URL. This article right here was the one censored by Twitter. As soon as this dropped, Twitter scrambled to censor it. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it might be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases of child pornography. White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seethed, "At least pretend to care about this for the next 20 days. These scumbags. I know some of these people up here. They're complete scum. Seriously, they did nothing. They've done nothing. There is like a small team of quote unquote conservatives at Twitter, Republicans at Twitter. They are garbage. Garbage. Okay? These people did nothing to help. Look at this email. This is an email here from the Trump team. All right? This is from the Trump team. Kayleigh McEnany has been locked out of her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. All she did was cite the story and firsthand reporting that has been reported by multiple other outlets, not in dispute by the Biden campaign. I need an answer immediately onto when and how she will be unlocked. I also don't appreciate how nobody on this team called me regarding the news, that you'll be censoring a news article. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. This is from, you can see up here, from a Donald Trump email address. Mike Hahn, Donald Trump email address. Don't know Mike. We know Kayleigh McEnany very well. Kayleigh McEnany is from Tampa. I currently live in Tampa. I know her. I know her family. What they did here should land people in jail. Because what they did was they took the press secretary of the United States of America and they silenced the press secretary of the voice of the United States of America. The press secretary speaks on behalf of the president. This is what Kayleigh McEnany does for a living. And they silenced her. They silenced her. They shut down her account because she talked about true things that would be damaging to their opponent, Joe Robinette Biden, owned and operated by the Chinese government. Continue. This led to public policy executive Caroline Strom to send out a polite email query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the policy teams who had little or less control over moderation and the trust and safety teams. Here you go. Hi, team. Are you able to take a closer look here? Hello? What's going on? This is from inside Twitter right here. So Twitter's being like, what the F is happening? What the F is going on inside of our own company? How are we limiting? We're locking the press secretary of the United States of America's account over a news story that has been written up by corporate media. The New York Post is not, and I love the Gateway Pundit, but like it's not like some right-wing blog. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violating the company's hacked materials policy. Okay, upon further checking the site integrity for violating the hacked materials policy. Got it. Okay, who said this? Elaine Ong Soto, ops analyst and global escalation team. Global escalation. Okay, so what else happened next? Although several sources recalled hearing about the general warning from federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen, this is from Matt Taibbi, of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. So this gets very interesting. Here, now it gets insane. This is where the smoking gun truly is, ladies and gentlemen. All of this was a buildup. So what do we know up to this point? The laptop story gets censored. Anyone who shares it gets penalized. They bring pain and censorship to the voice of the President of the United States, Kayleigh McEnany, among everyone else, and everyone else who shared this link. You couldn't even text this link to other people. They treated this link like child pornography, in case you're wondering what Democrats actually care about. And it's not, by the way, child pornography or abusing children. It's about not having bad information come out that could damage them electorally. That's what's happening here. In case you're wondering where their priorities are, here they are. So how did this happen? How did it continue? This is really where it gets juicy. The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal policy and trust and safety, Vijaya Gadde, playing a key role. Vijaya Gadde is the true villain of this entire story. Vijaya Gadde is the person who is the lawyer, essentially. She's like the chief counsel for Twitter. She's the head of trust and safety. She is like the censorious, leftist, Marxist lunatic, where all of this stems from. She is the cancerous node at the root infecting the body. Vijaya Gadde is the person who is behind this. They freelanced it. This is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold up. But nobody had the guts to reverse it. So this is essentially the Twitter board not having the balls to reverse their wrong decision. They just continue to rig and meddle and influence American elections. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gadde and former trust and safety chief Yoel Roth, who is currently out right now on a giant grand tour trying to cover his ass, probably from criminal prosecution here, because all of these people belong in jail. Comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. So there were truly logical, linear thinkers inside of Twitter that were saying, what the F is going on here? Check this out. Check out this email. New York Post Hunter Biden laptop archive. I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. I think the best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if this story is a result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for marking the link as unsafe. And then he tags the entire team of scumbags. Will we also mark similar stories as unsafe? Like this. Here, they link to Fox News. By this point, everyone knew that this was effed, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. So here you have the emails with Vijaya Gadde essentially saying, like, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know. Bunch of feckless morons. Former VP of Global Comms Brandon Borman asked, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? To Ian's point, we can't truthfully claim this is part of the policy. Part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we are limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing. So Twitter is essentially a dumpster fire here, to which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker, again, seemed to advise staying the non-course because caution is warranted. So this is Jim Baker. This guy used to work for the FBI and the DOJ. This guy is essentially brought over to be the hatchet man for guys like Biden inside of Twitter, and that's what he did. All of these people need to answer questions under oath. Every single one of them need to answer questions under oath and be referred for criminal prosecution right now. Fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation. Many people in charge of speech know or care little about speech, and they have been told the basic outlines. To wit, in one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gade to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about backlash, RE speech. Khanna was the only Democrat official I could find in the files who expressed concern. In case you're wondering how bad this gets, it gets so much worse for the Democrat Party. Goddard replied quickly, immediately diving into the words of Twitter policy, unaware that Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Hi, Congressman Khanna. Thanks for reaching out. We appreciate the heads up. We're clarifying the Twitter threads in the evening to expand our policy around posting private information. Because it's hurt Joe Biden. Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which generally hard to find in the files, meaning nobody cared about the First Amendment at all. Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culberson receives a ghastly letter from Carl Szabo of the research firm NetChoice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress from the House Judiciary Committee, essentially saying, okay, Lauren, yesterday NetChoice met informally with 9 Republicans, 3 Democrat House to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter. New York Post story. The staffers hailed from judiciary and choose office. Okay. What happened there? I was just going to do the weird thing where it doesn't show me the rest of the thread here. Okay, continue. All right, here we go. NetChoice lets Twitter know that a bloodbath awaits in an upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it is a tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they cannot regulate it themselves, so government may need to intervene. Here's what they said. At high-level takeaway, every Republican said this is a tipping point. It's too much. Both Democrats and Republicans were angry. Szabo reports that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as tech's access Hollywood moment. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment is not absolute. Szabo's letter contains chilling passages relaying that Democrat lawmakers' attitude. They want more moderation. And as far as the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute. Yo, this is it. There's your bombshell right there. Here we go. Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. They linked this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal, blah, blah, blah. Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making the truth relative. They push on how the government might insist that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred, the First Amendment isn't absolute. There it is. An amazing subplot of the Twitter Hunter Biden laptop affair was how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey and how long it took for the situation to get uneffed, as one employee put it, even after Dorsey jumped in. So what we have here in this gigantic scandal, which is just insane, is the true and unadulterated bombshell of our time. I mean, it's I'm essentially out of breath reading this, gasping reading this. Twitter, on zero basis, zero. It wasn't the FBI, according to this reporter who's seen all the internal documents. It wasn't the FBI. It wasn't the federal government. While the Biden campaign and the DNC meddled and had censorious actions, right now it looks as though the Twitter internal executives decided among themselves, because they are all leftists, they are all progressive activists, to censor it themselves. That's what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what was going on inside of Twitter. And in case you're wondering exactly how bad this has all gotten, the guy who was in charge of censoring this story is currently doing a massive PR tour. And he himself is saying that this was a mistake. After all, it was a mistake. Yes.
And so the morning of the Hunter Biden story in the New York Post happens, and it was weird, right? With distance and with what we know now, we forget some of the weirdness. But do you remember the laptop repair guy? Do you remember the uncertainty of the whole story? We didn't know what to believe. We didn't know what was true. There was smoke, and ultimately for me, it didn't reach a place where I was comfortable removing this content from Twitter. But it set off every single one of my finely tuned APT28 hack and leak campaign alarm bells.
So it looked possibly problematic.
Everything about it looked like a hack and leak and smelled like a hack and leak. But it didn't get there for me.
Right.
And this is, the work of content moderation is write a policy, create a system of governance, and then evaluate some new crazy situation against the...
I don't, Hans, are we the baddies?
Yeah, you're the baddies. You are the baddies. If you are on Twitter and you are the people who are deciding to censor Americans' free speech and to rig an election, let's share this one. Here's what Elon Musk just tweeted. Tune in for episode 2 of the Twitter Files tomorrow. Elon Musk, the bravest American currently living right now, protecting our free speech. This is happening right now. This is the bombshell story of our time. This is, without question, the largest political scandal. This is the largest political scandal in American history. This is the biggest political scandal, presidential scandal ever. This doesn't even, nothing else ever even scratches the surface. Because what happened here, and what we now know, according to the polling, is that if people had found out about Hunter Biden's laptop, if people had known about Hunter Biden's laptop, this according to the Media Research Center, then a preponderance of Democrat voters would have not voted for Biden, and it would have cost him the election. That's according to the Media Research Center. I don't think we have that polling directly to bring up right now. We'll have it at a later date. And so, guys, listen, you have to listen to those polling. This is the story, the actions that, according to data, according to what we know, won Joe Biden the presidency. This is it. This is it. You got to listen.
All right. Listen. Okay, listen.
You got to listen, guys. You got to know. You got to understand, what is at stake. Because what is at stake is our entire country. Listen. If you cannot run an election where Americans simply have access to not the information that is out there, the knowledge that is out there about the candidates who are going to lead them, then you no longer have a democracy. You have an oligarchy at best. You have a dictatorship at worst. And what we are currently living inside of is like a crypto dictatorship. You have people that were so powerful that they actually acted independent. According to the reporting, this was the actions of executives at Twitter, far left activists who were just making it up as they go along to rig the election. That's what they were doing, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they were doing. They were meddling. They were interfering. Call it what you will. The outcome is the same. They were able to ban a story that polling shows would have affected the outcomes of the election. They were able to ban that story. They were able to get it ripped from the pages of online. They were able to punish you. They didn't just stop you from seeing it. They caused you pain. They locked you out. They locked out Kayleigh McEnany from her account. And then they got their outcome. They broke every single rule. They hated Trump so much they broke every single rule in order to get their old, diseased, dementia-riddled grandpa across the finish line. And now this is the result. This is the result. And that's the more you Joe.
Come on, man.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like we're going to have part 2 tomorrow of the Twitter files. We will certainly be here to cover it. We'll be at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow for an event, but doesn't matter. We'll figure out a way, and we'll be here to cover it for you. We read you the entire thread. I know there was a lot there. 37 tweets from Matt Taibbi, one of the best journalists out there, and with the biggest bombshell story ever in American politics. An election that was legitimately an election that had the most powerful people in control of the most powerful information portal online block you and punish you for an act of, and you remember the First Amendment. Let's just close it out here by stating, what is the First Amendment? What is the First Amendment? It's worth putting on screen, quite frankly. The First Amendment, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. The Bill of Rights Institute. Shall we share this tab? Okay, we got it. Bill of Rights Institute. Let's read it. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise thereof, abridging the freedom of speech, freedom of press, the right of the people to peaceably assemble, petition of the government, and redress of grievances. So what does that mean? If you're pissed off, you can make sure that the government hears about it. If you're a reporter, you can do your job. If you want to assemble and you want to be upset at the government, you can do it. And if you want to have free speech, you can do it. And all of this stuff was violated. Every single bit of it was violated by Twitter in this action. Free press violation, free speech violation. The ability of people to gather and petition their government violated. All of it by the sick, vicious activists inside of Twitter.com who hate you, who hate America, who are just hardened Marxists. And they should be in prison. They should be in jail right now. And we're never going to stop until they are. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep going, man. We know a lot of members of Congress. We know a lot of people in the Senate. We've got a pretty big audience. We're going to leverage that audience officially, and you are part of it. And so we thank you for watching tonight. We're going to leverage that audience wholesale to make sure that the people who did this are punished because they robbed you, ladies and gentlemen. Interference. They robbed you. Interference in the 2020 election. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. That was the full Twitter files. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. And hallelujah. We are getting what was delivered and promised by Elon Musk. Man, the bravest man in America. God bless Elon Musk. My name is Benny Johnson. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of the Twitter files. See ya.